Hey guys, Shrapnel here. Today we're going to have another installment of Budget Preps. Today's not going to be as big as some of the previous ones, but I think you'll get the gist. So again, I'm looking for this we're looking for inexpensive clearance items, and we're just looking to round out what we may have. So, turn this on so we get a little better light. So, for these preps, we're not just looking for end of the world stuff. Maybe we're just looking at day-to-day emergencies. For instance, this. It's an ice scraper. Really nice one, actually. 99 cents at Walmart in the clearance section. Why did I pick this up? Well, simple. You could throw this in the trunk of your car, or the back seat of your pickup, or just in your center console if it'll fit. In case your main ice scraper breaks. It doesn't hurt to have a backup. Because all you need is to break yours when you need it most. Now on to the more longer term stuff. Now, in the 5 C's of survival, there is cover. Now that covers a wide thing. For me, it means anything involving shelter, protecting yourself from the weather, clothing, and safety gear. So, for that, we actually have all 3. For safety gear, we have these Ace Hardware utility gloves. They have the padding in them. They're not the nicest thing in the world, but gloves are gloves. $5. Well, $4.99. Again, clearance. It never hurts to hit the clearance racks wherever you go. These are size large because they're for me. They actually fit quite nice. I think they do fairly well. Mind you, I wouldn't be baling hay in these. Next is a simple hat. It's fairly warm, fairly comfortable. Definitely would get the job done. The sticker says $1. I actually only paid 50 cents for it. It was further marked down. Doesn't hurt to have. This is something you could take a plastic shopping bag or a cheap duffel bag or even a cheap backpack, which I still have to pull out, and you could throw it in that and have some winter gear. The last thing we have here, I actually bought for a specific purpose, but they will actually work for our intended purpose. Cut that real quick. These are just some cheap sneakers from Walmart. Athletic Works size 12 with memory foam. They were $14 for a pair of functional shoes. They're not going to be anything long term, but again, I'm looking to build up a little clothing bag to keep in my truck because my work uniform, not the most conducive to outdoor activities. Mind you, I'd be fine as long as it's nothing too strenuous. But let's say I had to walk home. I don't really want to walk home in heavy boots. So I picked up these cheap sneakers. It's just something to throw on. They're probably not going to be the most comfortable thing in the world, but it's something. And additionally, maybe if you have the extra money, buy a couple of different sizes. Have a size for you, buy one set for you, and then maybe buy a couple to barter. Because that's the one thing that I often see forgotten. These are $14. You could throw them somewhere. Imagine what you could get for someone who's in desperate need of shoes in a without rule of law situation. You could probably get something fairly nice for just these. Probably nothing too crazy, but my logic behind this is, oh, you need shoes, do you? You wouldn't happen to have, oh, I don't know, some Band-Aids, maybe a hammer, flashlight, batteries. There's options galore. The next thing, though I have it taken apart for some reason, is actually this. And it's a self-defense tool. This was about $10 at my local Tractor Supply. It's a fairly functional pocket knife, or, well, I wouldn't call it a pocket knife, but a little fixed blade. I think it's meant to be like a last ditch. But what I like about it is that the clip would actually make it mount fairly well on a vest. It clips very well to the belt, but I think it's meant for a MOLLE vest. And if that's the case, it wouldn't hurt to have this as just a last ditch thing, just left shoulder or right shoulder, depending on which hand you use. I'm right-handed, so I'd put it over the left. That's something. And bear with me for a moment while I grab it. Is this. It's a little raggy, but whatever. Urban Performance. This was $5 at Five Below. This is perfect for a get-home bag. You're not in it a lot of money. You don't care if it gets scratched up. No one's going to steal this because it's cheap. They're going to see this and be like, oh, there ain't going to be anything good in that cheap-ass backpack. Pardon my language. But it's perfect for a get-home bag. I wear a size 12 sneaker. They fit. So you can do this. Hat, gloves, spare pair of shoes, throw a couple of pairs of socks in here, keep a hoodie or a jacket balled up in the arm sleeves, or throw a hank of paracord in this pocket right here, and you can tie it and hang it from the top. There's options. With a cheap backpack, I wouldn't even be too scared to try sewing some loops on the bottom. But that's my point about this cheap stuff. Sure, the quality isn't going to be as good as that name brand. But what makes up for it is it doesn't hurt, and it allows you to have more expansive preps, and then you can build on them from there. Like, yeah, I would love to have for this to be like a nice like Carhartt backpack or a Kelty or what have you, 511. What's that other one? The really expensive one, Maxpedition. But I can't afford that stuff. I have other things to put my money towards. So why not buy this more inexpensive stuff? It'll do the job. I mean, this backpack, believe it or not, is actually double stitched. Mind you, the stitching ain't the best, and the nylon is super thin, but it's actually double stitched for $5. I'm actually very impressed with this backpack. So, nothing wrong with it. Why not? Go out there, look, see what you can find. You can get yourself a nice last-ditch knife, gloves, hat, even just your normal emergency stuff. Go out there and explore, see what you can find. And tell you what, I'm going to give you all a little challenge. I want you to pick a store, any store. Dollar Tree, Walmart, Tractor Supply, stores I don't even know. Even your grocery store. Give yourself a budget of $20. It's reasonable. Not overkill. What can you find? Maximize it. Now, if you go to a grocery store, let's avoid the easy ones. So if you go to a grocery store, let's not do food. See what else you can find. If you can't find anything else besides food, so be it. But challenge yourselves. And whatever you find, put in the comments below. I want to hear what you have to say. I'm just giving that little gap in silence was for you to say, yes, I will. Or, no, I'm not doing that. Well, whatever you decide to do, stay safe out there, okay? Thanks for watching.